Well, hey there, and welcome to the candy wallpapered upstairs hallway of the dollhouse for another reading from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Joost Elfers for August 24th, the day of Astute Examination. And here at the top of the page, we have us, a visual representation of the day of Astute Examination. And what is it? Boom! It's a couple of giraffes facing each other down, as if acutely examining each other, you might say. That's right. Hey, is it August 24th and it's your birthday today? Well, if it is, I just want to extend you a heartfelt happy birthday. That's a direct connection there. Happy birthday. And if this video finds you, I don't know, long or shortly after your day has already come and gone, well, I hope you had a happy birthday. That's right. I hope you had a happy birthday. But for everyone else who's just joining us randomly or out of curiosity, I want to say hello, welcome, and I hope you enjoy yourself. Well, all right, before we dive in with the birthday reading direct, let's roll some dice, all right? This is the DykASSt birthday cast, so we got to live up to the namesake. And more importantly, for synchronicity's sake, that's right, we rolled us a 2 and a 5 for a 7. Now, what is synchronicity, you may be wondering? Well, it's real simple, and it's just as easily misconstrued and hard to understand. So who's to say if this makes any sense the way I break it down, or if it's even right, but I'll try to break down how I understand it. You're putting yourself out into this world so that the universe can show you it's right there with you. That's right. And how do you do that? You keep an eye out for these numbers or numbers that you roll yourself. It's probably better if you got your own dice so you can figure out directions to go. But you assign yourself these numbers and you keep an eye out for them. They might pass you by on a bus, so maybe you get on and you get off on a certain stop. That's that number 2. Or maybe it's on something somebody's wearing. Or maybe you just, you see something like a poster on the wall that says the magic has returned. And it's just like, that speaks to you on what you're doing. You're getting out there and you're trying to get the universe to show you signs. And, you know, they don't have to be these full-blown obvious things, life-changing events. It's just little things that show you the universe is lining up for you and sending you on an interesting path. And you never know what's going to happen. And in any case, even if nothing does happen, you're opening yourself up to the universe and you're getting your steps in, I guess. That's right. You got to get some of that exercise, even if it's your birthday. All right, that's synchronicity for you. So let's dive in with your birthday read. Your month is August, your day the 24th, your sign is 0 to 2 degrees Virgo, and your, period is the Leo-Virgo cusp. And your quality and element, since we're closing in on Virgo, has changed from the fixed fire of yesterday to mutable earth for today. That's right, we're closing in on that Virgo, even though you're parts of the Leo-Virgo cusp, period. All right, August 24th. The day of Astute Examination. Those born on August 24 have the urge to untangle mysteries that capture their interest. All the dark, misunderstood, or uncharted areas of human knowledge attract them. Not only students of the human condition, those born on this day often pursue objective knowledge for its own sake. Whether philosophical or scientific, material or theoretical. They're never in quest for information and details which can help them make sense of life and enrich their world takes them far and wide. Unraveling complexity is something that comes naturally to August 24 people. Puzzles of all types, paradoxes, and riddles are their forte. And to say that they themselves are sometimes difficult to follow, that's an understatement. They can practically disappear in a labyrinth of thoughts and a maze of intricate ideas. But those born on this day may be difficult to pin down or understand. They themselves rarely feel lost. But though those born on this day may be difficult to pin down or understand, they themselves rarely are lost. That's better. Unfortunately, August 24 people are often unaware that they, in fact, are just as complex as the demands of their work, areas of investigation, or creations. They generally see themselves as simple and direct, however. And this can create problems for those intimately involved with them. Their family members, friends, and lovers may often feel at a loss to fathom their motivations, true emotions, and their needs. Yet, when accused of obfuscation, complicating an issue, or evading questions, August 24 people often react with bewilderment and denial. In order to uncover the truth, it is possible that an August 24 person will not only dig into books and human character, but also literally dig into the earth, peer into the woods, search the skies, and plumb the depths of the seas to explore the wonders of nature. On vacation, most August 24 people like nothing better than to explore something completely new to them. And their hobbies and perhaps their careers reflect this desire for discovery. August 24 people can make good parents. So great is their interest, they show their children's development. And they must make an effort, however, to allow for the privacy and living space that every individual needs. And this means they must curb their tendency to overanalyze their children's behavior and perhaps overstructure their lives. August 24 people would do well to simplify their own lives as much as possible and avoid much of the endless complexity which they not only discover, but also themselves create. They must also make an effort to cause a minimum of interference in the life around them, and their relationships will markedly improve if they remember to sometimes leave friends and loved ones to their own devices. Well, all right, that was quite the breakdown, I would argue. So much so, I've prepared some notes to see what I had to say about your birthday breakdown. All right, so an urge to untangle mysteries and the dark, uncharted areas of human knowledge is what drives and motivates you, huh? All right. A person on an never-ending quest for knowledge for its own sake, to enrich the world, and a natural intrinsic ability to solve complex puzzles, riddles, and paradox. It's interesting, the reading relates you're hard to follow, but if you disappear into a labyrinth, either literal or figurative, I'd suppose that makes sense. But it is a labyrinth, right? But this is a very specific kind of difficult to follow, as all sorts of folks like puzzles and chasing knowledge, right? So much so, it's not all that crazy to conceive of such things being all that unique. But they claim you're of a different ilk, and to that I say, cool, that's right. And I'll get to why. But just be mindful, what you find simple and obvious may not be so apparent to us lesser evolved in that area, and something I reckon to be very mindful of if you aren't lost in confusion, all right? Assuming that's a riddle you haven't already solved, naturally, all right? Why people get so confused about you trying to relate things. But yeah, don't obfuscate, okay? Communicate, that's what I say. It may be difficult, but once you get everything out there, hey, you're going to clear things up. Sometimes it's the other person who won't communicate, and in that case, you got to solve the riddle of how to get them to open up, that's right. So clear that veil of confusion, all right? I also like to think it's great that you get out into the world to get to the bottom of things. And one might be excused to think such pursuits of knowledge seldom leave the library or the mind space. But apparently that'd be a huge misplaced assumption on your part. And that's why I think it's cool. Because you get out there and you put your hands into the dirt to get to the bottom of things. You don't just hang out in the library. But yes, beware of your complexities, all right? And don't get too frustrated if you have to break things down for us simpler folks, all right? Provided they're actually open to understanding things and interested and not just patronizing you. Because you might just find a kindred soul even though you have to break it down Barney style for them, as we used to say in the military, or break it down shotgun style, referring to the M16A2 service weapon. That's right. Okay, and that has been my breakdown of my notes on the breakdown. Rather, I was gonna say my breakdown of the breakdown, but that doesn't make much sense. Or does it? So let's dive in with your numbers and your planets. All right. Those born on the 24th day of the month are ruled by the number 6, as 2 plus 4 equals 6, all right, and by the planet Venus. And because those ruled by the number 6 are magnetic in attracting love and admiration, and since Venus is strongly connected with social interaction, it will be a temptation for August 24 people to give themselves over completely to exciting romance and sexual experiences. Of course, since Mercury is their dominant ruler, Virgo's influence is strongly felt here apparently. August 24 people may not directly enter emotionally into these experiences themselves, but instead play the role of observer. Kind of speaks to what they broke down for you. Like, you like to discover things. Who's to say? But hey, what I have to say about your numbers. All right, let's dive in. Ruled by the number 6 and the planet Venus for that magnetic attraction of love and admiration. A seemingly desirable and envious quality for those of us that don't come by as much without a proactive effort. All right, I can see how such a thing might not be all it's cracked up to be, however. Much the same way swarms of flies can be overwhelming, if you like, or as they say, finding difficulty in giving oneself over in a complete way. Maybe that's something that comes with having all that magnetism. But if any of that is a puzzle or a mystery, it seems that might be something you enjoy figuring out and getting to the bottom of, if you haven't already. All right? And what else do I have to say here? Oh, that's about it. Assuming you aren't already figuring out that puzzle unnaturally. Okay, hey, let's dive in with your tarot. One of the more eclectic of the metaphysical ideologies in my mind, but it's fun. It's in the book, so let's see what they have to say. The 6th card of the major arcana is the Lovers, symbolizing the love that unites all humanity through integration of masculine and feminine polarities. On the good side, this card indicates affections and desires on a high moral, aesthetic, and physical plane. On the bad side, however, unfulfilled desires, sentimentality, and indecisiveness. Well, all right, a little bit of a copy-paste job as far as the tarot card's concerned. They didn't really personalize it for you, but that's why I'm here, right? To add a little bit of commentary on the matter. The Lovers, surprising, at least for me again, but maybe not so much for you, okay? But going off my preconceived notions again from the breakdown, that's why it's surprising to me. And this particular facet of strong social interaction and a unity of humanity didn't strike me as something that pertain. Again, probably because I thought you'd be buried in books or in some kind of study. So my stereotypes clouding my way of perceiving things. But I'm glad this element is present as it paints an even more vivid and colorful picture of your traits there, of this person it says that you are, all right? And it probably also makes all the sense in the world if I just to set my own preconceived notions aside, which sometimes hard to do for some of us simpler folk, right? Okay, but hey, that was your tarot, so let's dive in with your health. All right. Some August 24 people have a tendency towards mild or full-blown hypochondria, becoming over-attentive students of every detail of their anatomy and psyche. And because their self-monitoring is so involved and exacting, this may become worried, even panicked over tiny changes they observe, and thus overreact. And when they apply the same level of obsessive concern to the health of their mate or family, well, it can be difficult for loved ones to bear. It is essential that those born on this day learn to relax and be easy about health matters. As far as diet is concerned, this is one of the few days of the year where sheer enjoyment of food choices is recommended. Like I said, one of the few days. I don't know how they figure that out, but it is certainly better than endless rumination about what is best to eat, as it is more important that August 24 people allow themselves to simply appreciate and enjoy what they are eating. August 24 people should get plenty of sleep and even take daily naps to ensure sufficient rest and relaxation. Only light physical exercise is recommended. How about that? That's another one that isn't said very often. All right. And what I have to say in the notes about your health. All right. Hypochondria, huh? Interesting. A lot of that WebMD on your phone there, huh? Maybe you even got that thing bookmarked. Or if they have an app, you got that downloaded. Ugh. Get rid of that thing. You don't need it. Apparently. All right. Hey, what else I got to say? If that even exists, the WebMD app, I'm not sure. But I'm glad I'm not that obsessive myself, but maybe I'm not enough, actually. I just open myself up to a little bit of the hypochondria. So, yeah, endeavor to take it easy, apparently, all right? Naps, lots of good food, and light exercise. Again, so take note of that. I underlined it. Most of these days, you gotta put yourself through the ringer, either to get rid of your excessive aggressive nature, or because you're prone to taking on all that weight or ill health. So I don't know. Let me know in the comments if that seems to apply to you. That's kind of interesting. Light on the exercise. And it doesn't really give a reason why, but I'm curious how they even drill down on as much. Here nor there. Let's dive in with some advice. All right. Don't make such a production out of small matters, all right? Occasionally allow things to run their course. Your observations are not always appreciated. What else? Follow your heart more often while respecting the wishes of others. And some secrets are better left unrevealed. Ooh, real quick with the advice there today. This past month has been pretty quick, but what do I have to say? Some secrets are better left unrevealed. And how? All right, we might not like the answers. Okay. No observations are not always appreciated. All right, I know that one all too well. So maybe just do a little bit of analysis on whether what you might say is going to land well, right? Yeah, all these things can be tough, I also wrote. But I'd say once you find a way to actually clear your minds, to breathe, all those things people recommend, like once you actually figure it out and understand why it's important, then it makes all the sense in the world and why they're recommended. Meditation's another one. Meditation. I think once you have actually meditated really well, or you've had a good session of breathing and seen the benefits of it, boom, you're like, boy, why didn't I know about this before? It's like going to church, I suppose. Like sits through church. That's why I'm not Roman Catholic anymore. All right. So, in any event, that was your advice. Let's dive in with your meditation. Some of the finest dancers and musicians are members of the animal kingdom. Once again, some of the finest dancers and musicians are members of the animal kingdom. All right, no breakdown on that. That's for you to meditate on. It is your meditation. It's your birthday. All right, let's move on to your strengths and your weaknesses. All right, your strengths: you're observant, you're investigative, and you're thorough. And your weaknesses: are you ready? You're over analytical, you're stifling, and obscure. Ooh, though some people might argue those are strengths. Oh, all right. Hey, let's dive in with those born on this day. You know, and lately I've been taking an opportunity to examine this from a different point of view. You know, I meet a lot of people out there in everyday life, and I ask them what they do. More importantly, if they enjoy it. And a lot of times they don't. They don't enjoy what they do. And why is that? Well, because all too often we get driven through circumstance or right through college and immediately into a career because we got to make that money back that we spent, or we got to support somebody, and we don't have time to follow or find our passion, because sometimes that takes time to figure out. And then we get sunk into a career we don't like, and then we got to push on to retirement, and then what, right? So, any event, what's my point? My point is, let's just see who shares your company, okay? And see what they did to become influential, or what they are remembered for. And now, it may not have been their passion, the book doesn't say, but it might just give you some inspiration if you find yourself to be someone who can't quite figure out what they want to do with their lives, all right? Maybe you haven't figured out how to apply solving them puzzles, but let's see how these people did it. So those born on this day. We start off with Deng Xiaoping, who's a Chinese leader and a Communist Party chairman. We have Jorge Luis Borges, who was an Argentinian Nobel Prize-winning short story writer and a novelist, essayist, and a poet. And he wrote Labyrinths, the Book of Sands. All right. Well, that's two of them. Labyrinths and the Book of Sand. We have Fernand Braudel, was a French historian, writer of capitalism and the material life. We also have Elizabeth Lee Hazen, a microbiologist, mycologist, and a co-discoverer of nystatin. Maybe she was a hypochondriac. Who's to say? We have Cal Ripken Jr., the Baltimore Orioles baseball shortstop, who was a two-time AL MVP and a perennial all-star and a second all-time in consecutive games played. We also have Max Beerbohm, who was a British writer and a characterist. We also have George Stubbs, a British horse painter, engraver, and he's responsible for the anatomy of the horse. We have Malcolm Cowley, a British writer, critic, historian of Exile's Return. We also have Arthur R. Jensen, an educational psychologist. We have A.S. Byatt, was a British woman writer of Possession. We have William Wilberforce, was a British philanthropist, abolitionist. We have Richard Cardinal Cushing, was a Roman Catholic leader. We have Shirley Ann Huffstedler, was an education secretary. Mason Williams, a composer and a writer. And Joseph W. Chamberlain, who was an astronomer and a geophysicist. We also have Jerry Cooney, who was a heavyweight boxer. And we have Letizia Bonaparte, who's Napoleon's mother. I guess that's a passion, to be his mother, right? Buster Smith, jazz alto saxophonist, clarinetist, arranger, and Parker Precursor. We have Chris Chubbuck, was a TV public affairs director and shot herself dead live on TV. Oh, I think I saw that movie. We have Gianfranco Baruccello, who was a material artist and a painter. Hey, that has been those born on this day, okay? So hopefully you took some inspiration there, all right? We had a lot of writers, and so I think that would make sense for the folks to go out there solving the puzzles and paradoxes, all right? And so this has been, oh wait, before I dive in with that, your season is summer. Once again, your sign is Virgo of the Leo-Virgo cusp, and your quality and element is mutable earth. And this has been August 24th, the day of Astute Examinations, from The Secret Language of Birthdays by Gary Goldschneider and Just Elfers. We have an affiliate link for this down in the description if you're interested in picking up a copy and diving in further, which I think you might be because you like them puzzles and such. Now, whether or not any of this is tried and true, who's to say, but it's fun and it makes a great addition to your bookshelf or your coffee table, lest you be judged by your more higher, evolved and prim and proper friends that might come over. But in that case, just put it underneath your coffee table to prop it up there by the leg. Then they might be like, oh, he's got a good. Let's just see what's in that book there for fun, all right? You know what I'm saying? Any event, hey, more importantly, let's just say happy birthday, all right? I hope you had a happy birthday if this finds you late. For everyone else who's just joining us randomly, hope you enjoyed yourselves, kept things light. At least we tried to anyhow. And yeah, hope you had some fun. Once again, your numbers. Get out there and let the universe speak to you. 2 and a 5 for a 7. All right, hey, happy birthday. Take care of yourselves.